never come back again. It's got a death curse. It's got a death curse.
Drop.
Welcome into a brand new episode of the Death Curse Club. I am owner-operator of the establishment, Zach Hilton. And our hostess of the evening is on a very thin line. We're going to have some HR meetings coming up. The one, the only, Brooke.
That's me.
That's her.
Oh my god, that was not nice.
What's wrong with your voice?
Well, I came back
Came back from where?
on a cruise. That's
On a
why it looks so dark.
Vacation. We did. And guess what? Later on this week, you can check out Zach Speakeasy's Patreon, where we do Talking with Brooke and Zach, and we will go over that vacation and how fun it was and all the things that we did.
And our area that we live in is like literally top 10 for worst like pollen allergy, and it has affected. And then I was in 6 one-hour meetings all day. Like each meeting was about an hour.
So if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see that it's her. If you're listening on podcast, which is on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, wherever you can find it, I'm with Scarlett Johansson currently. So thank you for listening. Thank you for checking us out.
Yeah.
Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Death Curse Club. Now, you've seen special episodes before. You've seen us do the What If Theater, where we do our dream frights and such. But now we start a whole new plethora of era here.
World.
Don't love it. Don't love it.
Are not nice.
So this is the special of this Death Curse Club. Welcome to Blinky Cups and Conversations. I'm your host, Zach. This is Brooke. You don't have to do it again. We are here. I just wanted to save your voice for the content, baby. We're content creators up in this show, aren't we, baby? Content creators. That's what we are. If you are joining us for the first time, which I don't think you are, but we used to host a show called Hunters Podcast, which it was very, very heavy into Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando. We did local haunts and stuff like that. And that's what this section of the show, we didn't want it to let that kind of love that we have die.
Right.
So once a month, we will do Blinky Cup and Conversations for HHN haunts and stuff like that. Just, let that go out in the world because we love to give them that kind of content creations. So let's start with our first rumor that I want to get into.
Okay.
You know I'm not a spec guy. You
Nope.
know I'm not a speculation map guy. I do look at them just to keep in the know.
Yeah.
I'm not going to really plug much more than this one's from Hallowed Out Horror,
Okay.
which I do follow on Instagram, and you should too if you are a speculation map kind of person, which I can understand. So this is their version 2 that they released, and we're not going to get in any of them but one. But there was a mystery IP on the first version of their map.
Okay.
That mystery IP is gone. There's an actual IP that was never mentioned that's always been mentioned, which was Scream. And on this, Scream's not on the map.
Oh.
So I don't think they've been calling Scream for the entire time. But what caught my eye, what caught my mother-sucking eye, and it kind of makes sense in a way. They have on their map Friday the 13th. And it just says Friday the 13th. It doesn't say like part 2, part 3, Jason lives, Jason X, Jason goes to hell. It just says Friday the 13th. This is why I'm kind of interested at this point, if it's real.
Okay.
The distributor of the original Friday the 13th was Paramount Pictures.
Right.
Paramount Pictures owns Scream. The one thing that's going around on the Twitter spheres, all these mother suckers, the cult community, if you will, is that they don't understand why Scream would be a house because there was so much drama with previous versions trying to come out.
Right.
That dealing with Paramount. So, is there something about this Scream that's still being so difficult to come out that they've transferred and said, well, just do Friday the 13th? The Jason series is in good hands right now. Like, I mean, they have their own like almost universe now, the Jason universe.
Right.
Sharon S. Cunningham's A-OK, Victor Miller's A-OK. So everything, it's interesting to me because I kind of believe this could happen.
No, I get that. Well, it's been a thing before.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense.
It's been a thing before, but what you're thinking is Freddy vs. Jason, which is a New Line cinema property.
Okay.
A Warner Brothers property. Now, Warner Brothers has gone on record like they're dealing with some money woes too. So if it's finally gotten to the point where Paramount, who is in good standings with HHN because they are the makers of A Quiet Place.
Oh, okay.
And your house did well. Okay, what's another property we have?
Right.
Well, we have Friday the 13th. Well, what if we need to get an okay to have Jason in there because of Warner Brothers? Well, let's go talk to them because I'm pretty sure they need some money because the only thing saving their ass right now is Minecraft.
Right.
Now, my question to you again says Friday the 13th. Do you feel like it would concentrate on the first movie, or is it like a combination of all the films?
Oh, honestly, knowing HHN, it's probably focused on one, like the first one.
Okay.
Because I feel like that's kind of what they they don't often combine unless they have to.
Right.
So they like to have one focus. So if they're allowed to have one focus,
right,
like one movie, I think that's the way that they're going to go.
Okay.
And it crazy enough leads into like all of the podcasts that you've been doing.
What do you mean?
For Friday the 13th.
Yeah, it's kind of wild, right?
Right.
Like I thought about that when I first saw it. I was like, did I just like manifest this?
Yeah.
Like, did I wish this to? Because honestly, with the IP that they're going with rumors, we'll pretend this rumor map is correct. There's 5 IP. There's 2 video games, Five Nights at Freddy and Fallout.
Okay.
There's the horrors of WWE, which, I mean, as long as it's not the Wyatt Six, I can believe this. And then Terrifier, which I've heard Terrifier is a combination of the 3 movies.
Right.
Which I can completely get. There's only so much you can do.
I was gonna say that one makes sense though, in the lines of like the plot and story.
Right. But I feel like how you're saying, just like Halloween.
Yes. And that's what it makes me. That's honestly, that's honestly what made me think that it's 1. Because even with like Happy Death Day, that was 1. And I know there's more, but I think they like to have one
focus
story.
Yeah.
Versus having 3 stories and trying to make it work. Now with Terrifier, it works because the concept is still there.
Yeah. And all the kills.
Right.
Like, you're getting all the kills throughout
right.
the trilogy. And who knows if they would want to do more Terrifiers after this.
Right.
It's a nice tryout. And if it worked, cool. We'll do Terrifier 4 when they come out.
Right. And I think that based off of some of the speculations, like you were just listing, it is so funny because of how lackluster last year was with IPs.
Yeah. And it seems very heavy of trying to get every market.
Right. Well, and that's what I was going to say. You have to pull in the different, groups essentially. Like it takes you back to like essentially like if you were to think about high school and you have the different groups,
Mhm.
like you cannot just pertain to one group,
Right.
and you gotta.
Yeah. You're a fucking nerd.
Oh, you?
You. Everybody knows it. You.
Yeah.
You fucking mathlete.
Yeah.
All right.
that was one guy.
Let's go on to our next rumor that absolutely excited. If the house
I want to
that-
know if anybody actually believes that. If you
What do you mean?
believe that I was a mathlete, comment.
comment, please.
Yeah.
Please let me know if she was a mathlete.
What do you think I did in high school? Don't comment that. Never mind.
Comment what she did. You know what I mean? So Housewives, that rumor really excited me.
Yeah, for sure.
Funny enough, as much as I love Friday the 13th, that's not my favorite rumor that I've heard this week that could potentially steal the fucking show
Oh,
if it comes to fruition.
give it to me.
I will give it to you.
Give it to me.
That's what I'm doing.
Give it to me.
This is what's happening. We're pulling it up right there. As you can see, Halloween Horror Nights, Mel's Die-In, Universally Addicted on Instagram, posted, Halloween Horror Nights 34 is rumored to transform Mel's Drive-In into a 1950s themed scare zone. Expect jukebox hits, classic cars, and roller skaters cruising through. Likely in Hollywood area, this fan favorite spot could steal the show with this retro charm. Stay tuned for more spooky details. So,
I mean, whoa.
you go.
I mean, it feeds right into the shirt from last year that sold out
Almost immediately.
almost immediately. They had to bring more in.
Mhm.
It was, I mean, I saw that shirt everywhere.
Yeah.
We ordered it online in
Mhm.
fear of it selling out because it's one that, for me, doesn't just dig into a year of HHN.
Right.
It's a staple
For
of
sure.
HHN. Like
Absolutely.
it is a spot people take photos with. So
Mhm.
to not utilize that,
Mhm.
I feel like this is a no-brainer to me.
Yeah.
Like if this was not an idea and somebody threw that out there, they are now going back to the drawing board and be like, let's figure out how to do this. You already have the cars.
Right.
You already have the theming.
Yeah.
So
What's holding you
what's
back?
holding you back?
What's funny
And I want to
is-
say, if I'm not mistaken,
Mhm.
there was, and I think that this might be why the rumor came out.
Mhm.
There's a casting call
for roller skaters.
for roller skaters.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what
Yeah,
I was going
I
to
mean-
say, is that it feeds right into that idea of
Yeah.
things. I remember there being scare zones in that area.
Yeah.
Like one time there was a movie screen showing like hits and like characters were just walking about. They've had I think it was The Walking Dead at some point around that area.
Walking Dead took over that damn part.
You're not lying. But
And they had
it
chainsaws
is-
a lot there too.
Right.
Yeah.
But there is something awesome about Mel's Die-In is a staple. When I remember the one time they didn't do the light
Yes. Oh,
and there was
and
an
it was
uproar.
literally a riot.
Yeah,
for it,
of
yeah.
like, why wouldn't you do this all the time?
Yeah.
And then like we get the t-shirt, like you said, they made aprons, they did coasters, they put it on anything,
Sign.
everything.
That's
They
the
have-
one thing that I was mad I did not get. Like,
but
so if they have it,
potentially,
yes.
this-
To
to
gimme.
to me, it doubles down of like, okay, we sold the merch, which
Right.
everyone loved, but now we're going to be able to get actual IP, which is what I want.
Yeah.
So what's wonderful about them doing this as almost an original now, like,
Right.
it will
Yes.
be a true original.
Right.
It's giving a story.
See how that works?
Yeah, it's giving it a storied background,
Yes.
which I absolutely love. I
Mhm.
feel like you can theme the inside now with like dead workers serving the burgers or
You
something.
could have themed food in there so well.
Specifically just for that. You
Yeah.
don't have to have a booth. It's now
Yeah.
you can get the murder shake or
Yeah.
whatever you want. But for me, rumor wise, this is one of those times that I'm like, God, please be true.
It's a somewhat of a version of a scare actor dining.
It finally we can
Yeah.
have it, and I mean technically you could do scare actor dining in
Yeah,
there
you
beforehand.
could. You could,
if
yeah.
you wanted to. I think that's a smart idea to bring that back. That is something that I do think is truly missed. But
oh, for sure.
boy, oh boy, a Mel's die-in Scarezone would just rock my world.
I think so too.
What say you, lovely folks of the internet? Would you be a fan of said Scarezone? Would you be a fan of the House Friday the 13th? Let us know.
Did you get
comments.
a Mel's die-in shirt or any memorabilia?
Oh yeah, we did.
And I was like, no, we did.
Oh.
Asking them.
Oh.
Comment. Did you wish that you had?
Do you think they'll bring it back? Do you think there will be a
God, give me
2.0 version?
Give me
Mm-hmm.
a cup. Like no, not like that. Like the soda cups. What are the
soda cup?
Yeah, the soda cups.
Soda cup.
Yeah. Like the souvenir soda cup.
Soda cups.
Yeah, you put in to get soda. The freestyle.
A freestyle cup that just Mel's die.
You put
like
soda in it.
Black cup with the pink.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
soda.
Cool too. That's a soda.
Soda.
Okay, look, I get that you lost your voice. You're not from Minnesota. Whatever you're doing, you're not from I
wasn't trying.
Like you were like, no, you legitimately were sitting here being like, I want some soda. I want some pop. That's what give me some pop. When have you ever used the word pop?
I didn't say pop.
No, you said soda.
I didn't say soda.
Leave a comment. Did she say soda? Because I think you sort of said that.
I just said soda.
Mm-hmm.
I had to enunciate the O so you could hear it. It was projecting.
Well, don't project your stuff on me. Okay, let's get into real news.
What else you got?
These are rumors just from HHN.
Yeah.
But HHN Vegas, or I guess Universal's Horror Unleashed.
Which
yes,
we should very soon be getting an announcement.
Okay. I meant to bring that up at the beginning, but it's interesting to me that we haven't.
As late as it is into April.
It's wild, right? This is something unbeknownst to me.
Yeah.
I feel, and there's two sides of it. There's one camp that's like, they'll announce when they announce.
Right. I wasn't got a lot going on.
Yeah, well, they do. They have Epic coming out, Dark Universe looking great as possible. Then
hotel openings.
Hotels. We'll get into it down the road. But like, they have this Horror Unleashed about to come out in August. And they finally made a video for that, which we're not going to discuss the video because the video is basically just an information giver.
Okay.
And pictures of what it'll look like, the concept art. But they did release a media email.
Did you see or have you seen, because clearly some vloggers have now started heading out.
To Vegas?
To Vegas.
Vegas, baby.
They have started some of the expansion buildings.
Oh, okay. Around
Start like they've really started creating and building those as well, which is really kind of neat. Obviously they won't be open for a hot minute, but to know that they're already setting the groundwork for expansion and which is one of the things that I feel like Universal does really well.
Yeah.
Like even with Epic, that they already have spots that they're starting to expand.
Right.
Are giving themselves time to expand.
Okay. So you're actually talking about expansion for Horror Unleashed.
Yes.
Like if it does well, let's make another thing.
Yeah. Well, they have the building that they're going to have more stores and shops and
gotcha.
Because it's lifestyle is not the word I'm looking for, but that's the only thing popping up. Like it's entire scene that they are creating. It's not because right now they just have everything that they've been sharing in the one building.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So they started creating and constructing other buildings, which is in like the concept art. You see those buildings, but that's not where everything is at right now.
Fascinating. Okay. Well, all I know is early April, like April 2nd.
Yeah.
They released a media email and this video, which had all the creatives. Like Nate was there. Mike Aiello was saying some stuff. and they showed some of the concept, but also I'm talking about the email. I want to get into this email,
Okay.
which was mostly for Scarecrow the Reaping.
Okay.
And in this email, it reads here as such: a highly rated fan favorite house at HHN Universal Studios Florida and Universal Studios Hollywood, Scarecrow the Reaping is one of the 4 nightmare-inducing haunted houses that await guests at Universal Horror Unleashed, a first-of-its-kind year-round immersive horror experience in Las Vegas by the masters of horror of Universal Destinations and Experiences. Inspired by the historic Dust Bowl era when severe dust storms devastated the Midwest, the original story will take guests back in time to a dry, barren 1930s farmland ravaged by farmers and taken over by horrifying inhabitants arising from the land, bloodthirsty scarecrows bent on revenge as guests start their journey in the middle of the windstorm. Before entering the abandoned farmhouse, they'll encounter a monstrous and gigantic creatures made from the remains of the dried human flesh and bones of beasts merge with a burlap root and vine, with only one mission at hand: obtain vengeance for the ravaged land. Now, I'm just going to talk about that part right now because there's something they show in the trailer that they kind of hint at, but this email gets more into, but they only recently announced.
Yeah.
Which is weird to me.
Yeah.
And I'll get into that in a second.
Okay.
But I like the footage that they gave.
Yes.
I really, really, and they mentioned this in the video, and I think this is the thing that HHN fans, if you're those diehards that are Floridian mostly, but you know, the visitors do love the originals. The one thing that just guests can't take away is the backstory. You go through these neat looking, just fantastic house, even Scarecrow going through the one in Florida.
Right.
It was a really cool looking house.
Yeah.
I mean, it is
very
scary,
unsettling, creepy.
very, very well done. But like,
yeah, the story with
you
it,
wouldn't-
like you said.
you wouldn't know it unless if you had to do your research.
Fair.
What I enjoy about this and what the video kind of explained is that there's going to be like a pre-room
Right.
that gives you backstory of this house, this maze that you're about to go through. And that is so wonderful. They mentioned, they're like, you know, so many people are going through these houses at HHN that we actually get to breathe a little bit and tell stories.
Yeah.
Here.
I'm glad that you said that because that was one of the things that stood out to me is that it's not that they don't want to do it for Orlando or Hollywood. They're limited because you're in a conga line.
Yeah. It's timed.
And if
so
it's
much.
paused at all, like we already have ridiculous wait times.
Right.
So you can't pulse it like other places.
Right.
Meaning you don't have the time for those stories. So to hear that this place is allowing that and setting that up, essentially, not allowing, but setting that up, really plays into like you can come in somewhat cold without knowing and still get such a good feel, because there's houses that if you didn't know the background for HHN, I could see how a lot of the things would be missed, which is what Universal does so well, is telling the story.
For sure. Yes, no, 100%. And I think with them giving this blip about what it's about, automatically just gives whatever they're going to create, whether it's the best of the maze and we're putting it together, whatever they're doing, I feel more confident going into. And I like that they're announcing things kind of HHN style.
Yeah.
Like, here's your first house announcement. And that was at the beginning of April. So I'm feeling at the beginning of May, we should be getting that second. I think they're going to announce all four: April, May, June, July.
Fair.
And then August it opens.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty fun.
Which means we should be getting an HHN announcement soon.
We should be getting all kinds of announcements soon. But we did get an announcement about somebody coming back. They tweeted out, they being Universal's Horror Unleashed, because they have their own accounts, they have their own YouTube, stuff like that. But they showed Jack is back, and they showed an old school HHN video of him walking up and basically doing the "you missed me" kind of bit. But why I found that interesting, because again, they show you the concept art in the video, but like we already know that there's a Jack going to be there, so it was weird to me that they're, hey, guess what? We just announced the icon of the event, because in the same email it goes, next door at Jack's Alley Bar, guests will enjoy themed specialty cocktails, aerobatic performances, and more in a circus-like hellscape where the deranged Jack the Clown, his impishly evil sidekick Chance, reign. Set in a twisted, dark carnival atmosphere, guests will face Jack's evil maniacs and a group of malicious jugglers, dancers, and fortune tellers as terrifying chaos ensues, during interactive show moments. Each immersive area will place guests in the center stage of horror, with many opportunities to interact with characters for a deeply engaging experience. So when
let me tell you,
I ain't about to say, don't beat me.
no. The show, from Jack's that was on the stage. Stage show,
yeah.
From 25, I still remember, like vividly remember. It was so impactful. And it was off of a whim chance of even seeing it, because I refused to see a zombie again. Right. But to know that this place is not only somewhat reenacting, I feel like, that type of atmosphere and show. But to know that you have multiple opportunities to truly interact with the characters and within the storytelling blows my mind. Hands down, makes me want to go. Just that alone. And the description and the character of Jack is just so phenomenal. Like I said, it makes me want to go immediately.
It's wild to me, because I've always loved Jack. Like when I first saw him up and getting him at 25 for that cool event, all the way to the HHN 30 takeover that he did, like Jack the Clown is he's iconic. So storied and iconic. He is an icon. And I'm not saying Universal has trouble with their characters that they're trying to get out there right now, but it is a very, if I can do a comparison, it's like, the first three phases of Marvel, everybody loves Cap, Iron Man, and stuff like this. And then like they're having a hard time with the characters getting over right now, like Shang-Chi and people like that, which that's where I think they're having their hard time with, is trying to make these guys. But there's something special about Jack, because he is vocal. He is very maniacal. There's something dark and dirty about him that really transfers well. And that show that we saw at 25, our first real experience of him, the hell yeah, Jack, let's kill these guys. I feel that atmosphere is going to go so well at this bar scene, and with the themed foods and drinks and the jugglers and the dancers. What's really funny is like, I'm prepared for the fucking Nightmare Fuel Girls be at Orlando. But if you were to ever tell me that the Nightmare Fuel Girls were going to Vegas to be a part of this, not only has that been the thing I've been clamoring for, because they need a leader like Jack to entertain you, to get them ready for the stunts.
And that also feels like appropriate.
Exactly. It's like they took the notes and decided to put it in one contained place. I hope it comes out that way. I say again, I'm expecting Nightmare Fuel Girls at Orlando, but this is calling for it with the jugglers, the aerobatic, acrobatic kind of stuff. Like, I love that Horror Unleashed sounds very cool and very like, I need to make a trip. I would really like to make a trip for this thing.
For sure.
Before we end today's episode, we are recording on April 22nd, which is the 91st anniversary of The Bride of Frankenstein, the film that started The Bride as this iconic universal monster. And it really got me thinking about the house, of how like The Bride of Frankenstein lives.
You loved that house.
I love it so much. And this September technically will be its 5-year anniversary from HHN Light. And like I posted on our Instagram of the announcement video, this house was perfect. There's nothing, if you have never seen, no notes. If you have not seen The Bride of Frankenstein Lives house at HHN, I highly suggest to find some kind of walkthrough from somebody or even Universal Zone. But there was something magical about going through a sequel from a movie, but in a house form. And I think it was perfect. It was great. Do you have any remembrance of The Bride? You've dressed up as the bride.
I know.
You've been the bride.
I've been. Honestly, when I think about it, truly going through that house made me have such an appreciation for that character and the storytelling of that character and the love for that character. Like, it made me love her.
Right. It brought out that.
Yeah, like I felt so connected at that point. And to me, to have that connection, because everybody loves Frankie.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Frankie, right? Like that's the story that you're told over and over and over again. So to have Bride not only make such a statement, but to do it without changing, like mind you, it wasn't a movie, like it was a sequel, right? But it didn't change the essence of her, and to me that's the top notch. Like that's what you look for,
and then organically made her so powerful. And I think that's what my favorite bit about it was. And yeah, I can feel how I want to feel about that the house from last year where she is featured. But it was nice to at least see her be a strong B. You know what I mean? And I don't know. Like, I love it. I love The Bride of Frankenstein. And I can't wait to go to Dark Universe to meet her. It'll be a fantastic experience. So that is this edition of Blinky Cups and Conversations. We will catch you next time on Death Curse Club. Actually, a Death Curse Club is probably going to drop on Friday with
there we go.
All the movie news and stuff and reviews. So, Brooke, thanks for stopping by. You're going to HR.
Never come back again. It's got a death curse. It's got a death curse.